Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. And welcome back to the Lightning Flash update right here on YouTube.com. You already know who I am, Mr. Controversy. And the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is, of course, the Lightning Flash update for January 12th, 2018. And boy, oh boy, do I have some news, rumors, and reports for you guys today. But before we get into that, we are going to get straight into the weekly show reviews. Now, Monday Night Raw. It was very formulaic, very boring at times, and it was basically a three-highlighted show based off Woken Matt Hardy and the Cruiserweight Championship match between Alexander and Enzo Amore, and the Balor Club versus The Shield and Jason Jordan. So Roman kicked off the show, basically stated that he's proud to be Intercontinental Champion, all that other good stuff. Jordan came out. He basically got overzealous in the eyes of Rollins, who came out afterwards. Jordan basically called themselves the most dominant three-man team in WWE today. The Balor Club answered, and Finn Balor got in the ring. He basically said, I see the architect, I see the big dog, but, when I look right here, I see, Gallows. What was the thing you were telling me backstage? Nerd! I love that phrase. I love that catchphrase. I gotta get that Nerdometer shirt. I really do. So, anyways, long story short, that led to Jason Jordan slapping Luke Gallows, and a six-man tag team match was made later for that night. Sasha Banks and Bayley defeated Absolution's Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Who gives a shit? Can we just get to the Women's Royal Rumble already? Why is it that every Monday Night Raw we have to have a tag team match with the women every single week? Why can't we have Alexa Bliss finally defending the Raw Women's Championship? She hasn't defended it since October 30th of last year. So, Woken Matt Hardy, he debuted. Theme song's fantastic, by the way. He defeated Kurt Hawkins, extending Kurt Hawkins' losing streak to 150-0. And then, all of a sudden, Bray Wyatt appeared, and he had a laugh-off with Matt Hardy, and I was laughing the entire time as well. Elias introduced The Miz. Elias is really morphing into one of my favorite superstars on Monday Night Raw. And The Miz-Tourage actually teased splitting up, because The Miz-Tourage kept on giving The Miz gifts, trying to one-up each other. So, Miz basically stated that he's coming for his Intercontinental Championship, he's coming for Roman Reigns, and the Miz-Tourage could be heading towards a downward spiral. You never know. Cedric Alexander versus Enzo Amore actually morphed into a good match. Say all you want about Enzo Amore, but he's done a very good job as Cruiserweight Champion. He's done a very good job with his mic work. And Cedric Alexander, this is a testament to how good Cedric Alexander is. He led Enzo Amore to his best match to date. Hitting brutal neuralizers, making Enzo bleed like a stuck pig from his right eye. And then Enzo landed right on his ankle. I actually hope he's not seriously injured. After Cedric Alexander did a beautiful tope con hero onto Enzo. So, I'm assuming that this is going to lead to a rematch at the Royal Rumble. I really don't see it leading anywhere else. Speaking of the Rumble, the Raw Tag Team Championship rematch between The Bar and Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins was announced for the Royal Rumble, and Roman Reigns versus The Miz in a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship was announced for the 25th anniversary of Raw on January 22nd, 2018 rather. Almost said 2017. I'm still living in the past. Titus Worldwide, they're finally starting to push Apollo and Titus. They defeated The Bar in a decent match. I actually like this move. We could possibly see Titus Worldwide in the Raw Tag Team title picture after the Royal Rumble. I would not mind this one bit. Lesnar and Heyman did their promo, same old shit. The best part about this segment was that Braun Strowman nearly killed Kane and Lesnar when he took a grappling hook and hooked it onto a steel platform or a steel stage in the backstage area and just pulled it down, timber like a tree in the forest, onto Kane and Lesnar. Could someone, like, there's really no logical explanation that someone can give me as to why Braun Strowman does not have a championship reign under his belt of last year. Last year was the perfect opportunity to give Braun Strowman the Universal Championship, and they didn't do it. It's sickening. Samoa Joe defeated Rhino. He announced that he was in the Royal Rumble and he was going to take out John Cena. I have some news on Samoa Joe, which actually broke earlier this week. If you don't already know, Nia Jax then attacked Asuka, and the Balor Club defeated The Shield and Jason Jordan, and the Miz Taraj attacked Roman afterwards. Very formulaic Raw. Styles kicked off SmackDown Live, and he basically stated that he's not going to allow Owens and Zayn to tear down the house that AJ Styles built. Owens and Zayn interrupt. Shane McMahon came out, announced a 2-on-3 handicap match for the main event. That was basically that. Becky Lynch defeated Ruby Riott in a decent match. Glad to see Becky Lynch back. Maybe, aside from Asuka, I believe Becky Lynch is the only logical choice to win the Women's Royal Rumble. If it's not going to be Asuka. Cannot be Ronda Rousey. I don't care. I don't care who the hell she is. I don't care how much money she can market. I don't care how much asses she can put in seats. Ronda Rousey cannot win the Royal Rumble. Bad move. Bludgeon Brothers squashed the Ascension. Mojo Rawley defeated Zack Ryder in the final first round of the U.S. Championship Tournament. I am very much looking forward to seeing what Mojo can do against a guy like Bobby Roode. You never know. Could end up being a good match. Benjamin and Gable demanded justice, and this was actually my second LOL moment of the week. Every time something came up for Gable that was annoying in the eyes of Gable, he kept on going, shoosh, shoosh, free the tag team titles. Put that on a t-shirt and sell it. Trust me, Gable. Trust me. Put shoosh on a t-shirt and sell it. I'd be the first one to buy it. So Shelton Benjamin coined the ref that came out last week, Generic Referee 2. Brian came out, and he announced at the Rumble it is going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match between the Usos and Benjamin and Gable for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Do not sleep on this match. It could very well be match of the night. It could very well be match of the night. It's Rusev Rumble! Rusev and Aiden English are in the Royal Rumble. And then all of a sudden, WWE thinks it's a bright idea to push Breezango now. All of a sudden, after all this time of doing fashion file work, although I love the fashion files, now it's a good time to push Breezango when Rusev Day is trumping them. Rusev is the number one in the t-shirt sales. He's number one. Where's his push? I really don't see it. I'm looking around for it. Kind of vanished in thin air, just like Finn's Universal Championship rematch, just like Braun Strowman's push. I pitched the idea of having Rusev Day face off against Benjamin and Gable at WrestleMania for the Tag Team Championships and having Rusev and Aiden English win. I don't know if they're going to go that route. They should, but I don't know if they're going to go that route. So then we had the main event. Nakamura, Orton, and Styles defeated Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens after it was restarted twice. It was restarted twice after Shane McMahon came out and made it no count out and no DQ. I'm really getting sick and tired of this Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn feud. Shane McMahon should just be building off the feud with Daniel Bryan, but not vicariously through Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It's really making for some bad television for me. The feud should have been over at Clash of Champions. That's it. Moving on, SmackDown, it's a hit or miss. It was just a little bit better. Barely better than Monday Night Raw. 205 Live, surprisingly, the Cruiserweights had some of the best matches of the week. That's what happens when you let these guys go. So Grand Metalik defeated TJP in a good match to kick off 205 Live. Metalik hitting sunset flip powerbombs off the ring post. We had Metalik doing Xavier Woods-like tightrope walking elbow drops, TJP with the springboard forearms, a trio woe drop kick. Metalik won with the Metalik driver. I'm actually liking that they are starting to utilize Metalik a bit more. I'm guessing that TJP is going to be going into an undercard feud with Metalik and Kalisto for the time being because he lost it. He absolutely lost it, and he tore up the ringside area, throwing pencils and papers and chairs, tearing up the announce table. So interesting to see where that goes. Tony Nese and Enzo Amore cut a promo backstage. Tony basically said he was going to beat Cedric Alexander down and reclaim his spot second right behind Enzo on the Zo train. Gallagher addressed Hideo Itami's condition from last week on 205 Live. He basically stated that he's here to ruin Hideo Itami's life. Hideo was not here, but of course Hideo was here. Why wouldn't he be? Why wouldn't Hideo be there? He's Hideo Itami. Hideo Itami attacked Jack Gallagher, and he was actually getting ready to whack Jack Gallagher upside the shoulder with his umbrella until Jack Gallagher dodged out of harm's way and ran into the crowd. I'm assuming that's going to be leading to a no disqualification match in the near future. Cedric Alexander defeated Tony Nese in another good match. They went back and forth. I really like the chemistry between Tony Nese and Cedric Alexander. I would love to see a little mini feud for the Cruiserweight Championship between those two in the future. Then Cedric Alexander actually mocked Enzo Amore's injured ankle and delivered a lumbar check to the champion and stared down at the Cruiserweight Championship. Cedric Alexander's Cruiserweight Championship win, it's going to be good. It's gonna be well deserving, and I'm very much looking forward to when Enzo is going to drop that title to Cedric, even though I've been enjoying Enzo's reign so far. Time for NXT. Best show of the week. We had Shayna Baszler defeating Dakota Kai with a brutal stomp right to the arm. Now, let me tell you something. Pete Dunne did it to Tyler Bate where he bent the finger back and just stomped on the arm. But when Pete Dunne did it, he stomped and then he jerked his foot back. Shayna Baszler, she stomped and she pushed down. She held it there on Dakota Kai. I took a step back and I actually thought that Dakota Kai's arm was in another dimension after that one. And then she actually decided to choke Dakota Kai out. Ember Moon came out for the save. William Regal actually had a little segment with her backstage. And he basically came up to Shayna and said, "What you're doing is not going to get you an NXT Women's Championship match." Shayna Baszler just said, "Are we done here?" and walks off. My guess is Shayna Baszler is going to be in the NXT Women's Championship picture sometime maybe in the second half of 2018. You never know. We're going to have to see how that plays out. The Authors of Pain cut a promo. Paul Ellering says that they want their titles back. And they're going to be coming for either the Undisputed Era or Sanity. Interesting to see where that goes. Cassius Ohno then defeated Raul Mendoza in a pretty decent match. Raul Mendoza, he's doing pretty well for himself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really not gonna lie. I would like to see a bit more of Raul Mendoza. Maybe put him in a little mid-card feud with another up-and-coming rising star. But he did his job against Cassius Ohno, and Cassius Ohno won with the leaping elbow right to the back of the neck. Good win for Cassius Ohno. Gargano and the Velveteen Dream had a promo. Velveteen Dream wanted Gargano to say thank you to him, not his name. He wanted Gargano to say thank you. And the Dream basically stated that if the Dream was in there with Cassius Ohno, he would have beaten him in 30 seconds. The Dream would have been going on to face Andrade Cien Almas, not you. So I'm assuming that that's going to be leading to a Gargano Velveteen Dream match probably next week. Seems like the only logical thing to do. William Regal made the Street Profits versus the Authors of Pain next week, and the winners will go on to NXT TakeOver Philadelphia to face off against the Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Lars Sullivan defeated Lio Rush. Lars Sullivan, we all need our daily dose of Lars Sullivan every once in a while. And then he called out Killian Dane. Yes. You want a Clash of the Titans? No, scratch that. Nigel McGuinness coined it. It's going to be King Kong versus Godzilla. And By God, he is 1,000% right. And then Lio Rush got knocked into 2019 with a super freak accident from the middle rope by Lars Sullivan. Sanity was attacked by the Undisputed Era before their tag team title match. William Regal came out, said that they will defend the NXT Tag Team Championships. And Roderick Strong and Aleister Black actually answered the challenge. Now, let me tell you something. That right there, that is a super team, if you ask me. That is a bona fide super team, Roderick Strong and Aleister Black. And I apologize for my dog. There's really no controlling her. But we had the Undisputed Era. They went in a tag team match with Roderick Strong and Aleister Black. It actually morphed into a pretty good match, I'm not going to lie. Roderick Strong and Aleister Black, you put them together and it equals money no matter how you look at it, whether it be against each other or in a tag team match. Roderick Strong did a brutal counter to Kyle O'Reilly's Axe and Smash. Kyle O'Reilly, he got axed, the kick to the back, and when he went around for Smash, he caught a knee right in the face, which I thought looked brutal. Aleister Black got the hot tag, and he was just taking out everyone. He was taking out Bobby Fish, he was taking out O'Reilly. Adam Cole then inserted himself into the mix, delivered a forearm to Black, and then all of a sudden, Adam Cole started running up the staircase in the crowd. Aleister Black followed him, and that allowed the Undisputed Era to hit total elimination to Roderick Strong. They retained the titles, and then Aleister Black was delivered a Death Valley driver on the steel chair, which bent the chair. Beautiful. I thought that was beautiful. And then Regal came out and made an Extreme Rules match between Aleister Black and Adam Cole. Let me tell you something. If Aleister Black versus the Velveteen Dream was the match that all eyes were going to be on for War Games, then Aleister Black versus Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match in Philadelphia, nonetheless, is going to be an even bigger one. Now, on to the news, rumors, and reports. We're going to start off this news, rumors, and reports section with a little shout out to Mr. Slice Wrestling. If you know him, you can go on Twitter and follow him at Slice Wrestling. I have a few tweets from him. One of them says, and I quote, no pun intended toward Michael Cole, and I quote, "One of the creative plans for the Royal Rumble is for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to prevent each other from pinning Styles for the WWE Championship, leading to a WrestleMania 34 match between the two." I actually hope this is true. Because I really think that they are better fighting each other than together. No matter how good Sami Zayn's heel work has been as of lately, it has really grown stale because Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are not really where they should be. Sami Zayn, he's okay as a heel, but it's almost to the point where it really just shouldn't be done. It really just shouldn't be done. Kevin Owens, he's to the point where he really doesn't need any friends. All he needs to do is go out there, beat the hell out of someone, and say he gets paid to do it, and win championships. Should have been Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. Sami Zayn should have been in the Royal Rumble. So I'm actually hoping that this is true. I'm hoping that Sami Zayn could win the match against Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, and we can get maybe Sami Zayn goes to the U.S. title picture, and Kevin Owens goes to the WWE Championship title picture. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know if they're going to do that, but that's what they should do. And another tweet from Slice Wrestling, he tweeted, and I quote, "The Miz is expected to regain or recapture the Intercontinental Championship shortly in preparation for the road to WrestleMania." Could somebody please tell me why anyone would think The Miz regaining the Intercontinental Championship is a bright idea? Is there anyone else on Monday Night Raw besides Roman Reigns, The Miz, and Brock Lesnar who are actually worthy of carrying a championship? Why not Jason Jordan? Why can't Jason Jordan be a singles champion? Why can't Finn Balor be a singles champion? Why can't Braun Strowman be a champion? Why isn't Samoa Joe the Intercontinental Championship? Or the holder of the Intercontinental Championship? Why does the Intercontinental Championship always have to go back to The Miz? The Miz will do nothing with the Intercontinental Championship. All The Miz can do is talk. That's it. I don't care how you look at it. The Miz winning the Intercontinental Championship is a bad decision. And you will not be able to convince me otherwise. Moving on, before I pop a vein inside of my brain, PW Insider have confirmed that Joe, as in Samoa Joe, is legitimately injured, but there is no report of the type of injury or the time of absence he will have to endure. I really hope that it's really not that serious, because I want to see Samoa Joe in the Rumble. I really want to see a match with John Cena and Samoa Joe, and I want to see Samoa Joe get his momentum back, possibly leading to a Universal Championship match. I have another report from PW Insider Elite. They've reported that Paige, unfortunately, will not be cleared in time for the Women's Royal Rumble, as the injury she suffered at a live event is worse than they thought. So that's 2 people injured now. You have 2 people injured now, and WrestleMania season is upon you. You better be working your ass off. That's all I gotta say. The guys up in Stanford, Vince McMahon, you better be working your ass off to make WrestleMania season a damn good time for the wrestling year and the wrestling community in general. If it's not, and the only thing that you guys are going to be focused on and actually putting some effort into is the match between Lesnar and Reigns, which nobody wants to see, the backlash is coming. The backlash will be coming. Moving on, according to Squared Circle Sirens by way of cage side seats, Candice LeRae, yes, Mrs. Johnny Gargano, has signed with WWE and should be reporting to the Performance Center shortly. So, what does this mean? Does this mean that Candice LeRae could be showing up at NXT TakeOver Philly? Does this mean that Zelina Vega could get involved in the championship match, and Candice LeRae is there? Candice LeRae is there to help out Johnny Gargano. I don't know. Could it be that Candice LeRae could be making a surprise appearance at NXT TakeOver Philadelphia? Could it be that Candice LeRae could be inserted into an NXT Women's Championship feud with Ember Moon? I don't know. The possibilities are endless with NXT, and we know that NXT can do no wrong. Very excited to see how that plays out. On a positive note, Austin Aries actually returned to Impact Wrestling to win the World Championship. Austin Aries, the originator of Option C. He is back in TNA, although he shouldn't have been back there because Austin Aries should have been Cruiserweight Champion last year. But however you want to look at it, interesting to see where that goes. I'm guessing that with the return of Austin Aries, some stars will be leaving NXT. Some examples could possibly be Ethan Carter III. You never know. Maybe Bobby Lashley. Matt Sydal. You never know. But we'll see where that leads to. And boy, oh boy, was I happy to stumble upon this. Boy, oh boy. You never really know what you'll find when you're searching for the rumors and reports regarding the wrestling world, and you come across a little interview conducted by Bleacher Report, and it just so happens that they interviewed the IWGP United States Champion, Kenny Omega. And they were talking about Vince McMahon's golden boy, the man who's riding the Vince McMahon dick train to WrestleMania, Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns, obviously with him being the mentally disabled retard that he is, said that he's the best in-ring performer today, and Omega decided to respond to that. Now, although I was expecting something different, I am glad Omega said what he said here. And this is, and I quote, from Kenny Omega. Omega stated that, "I don't know if Roman was put up to saying a comment like that from a social media team, or if it was something that he consciously thought to himself. But I thought it was pretty smart of him to do that, to say that because it became instantaneously a topic that people were talking about." He continues by saying, "And just because it sounds so ridiculous, you know what I mean." You know what he means. He stated, "By no means do I actually think he believes in those words. There's no possible way. I don't have to feel like I have to speak up about it. It is what it is, and I understand that it's a fun thing for fans to generate interest in the product. I take absolutely zero offense in him saying it, especially since it's quite clear that the fact of the matter is much, much different." Kenny. I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't agree more. What is there for Kenny Omega to say? There's nothing. You know why Kenny Omega doesn't take offense to this? Because it isn't true. The fact of the matter is much, much different, because Kenny Omega is the best in-ring performer today. Some would argue that AJ Styles is, or Kazuchika Okada. You could literally take anyone on the WWE roster, and it's better. He or she is better than Roman Reigns. I would even go so far as to say that Kurt Hawkins is better than Roman Reigns. The only reason why Roman said this is because Roman knows. Roman knows that he is hated. Roman knows that he is the most despised man in the wrestling world. He only said that to generate controversy. And Kenny Omega, he did the right thing. Kenny Omega did the right thing, and he didn't overly exaggerate about it. He basically stated, he can say whatever he wants. Fact of the matter is that no matter what he says, doesn't change the fact that I'm still number one. That's all you have to do. Doesn't matter what Roman Reigns says. It doesn't matter how many sales that you are generating. Doesn't matter how many asses you put in seats. Kenny Omega is probably one of, or the best in-ring performer today. Kenny Omega, if you add up Roman Reigns, you could have 10,000 Roman Reigns, and they would not add up to one Kenny Omega. That's how valuable Kenny Omega really is, and how Roman Reigns has just been, he's basically just been off his rocker as of lately. You already know what I mean by that. Roman Reigns just said that just to say it. He said that just to say it, and that's basically it. And anyway, before my dog spirals out of control, I would like to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the Lightning Flash update. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @TheDJStorms. Do not forget to check out the Lightning Flash update next week. Do not forget to check out the rundown for the Royal Rumble, which I will be posting on January 27th, 2018. I'm DJ Storms. Thank you for tuning into the Lightning Flash update. I'm going to try to calm down my dog. You have a great weekend.